you know Roy Rickstrew. He is your disability rep. And Roy, over the time that you and I have spoke, we've covered a lot of different subjects. I don't know how often we've gotten a whole picture of all the things that you can help people with.
Well, I appreciate that, and it is always good when we get to kind of talk a little bit about the things that we do here at the Resource Center under Your Disability Rep umbrella. So I had worked for the state processing disability claims for a number of years, and we mentioned this before. I got frustrated with the process, realized I was on the wrong team, and so I changed teams.
Yeah.
So here at the Resource Center, we do Social Security disability representation, we do children's claims, we do widows claims, all of the Social Security programs we handle at the Your Disability Rep. But additionally, we do other things here too that I'm involved in.
Okay.
For example, I'm a licensed Medicare agent, and so I help folks with the Advantage and the supplement plans. It's kind of a continuation of services for me.
Right.
You get approved for disability, you need help with your Medicare. It made sense for me to transition into that. I do that for the general public as well.
Yes.
Also, I've worked with Medicaid clients for 25, 26 years. I have a lot of understanding of that program as well. We do some estate planning at the Resource Center, and I'm involved in some of the Medicaid planning that goes along with that. I consult with the estate planners. We also do a little bit of emergency Medicaid planning for folks that may be going into a nursing home, have resources, and need to try to figure out what to do with that stuff.
See, but the overall, the overarching thing is the fact that these are things everybody is going to run into sooner or later.
Unfortunately,
it's not a specialty where you go, oh, I'm never going to need that. Not true.
And when I came to work here with Bruce, I thought immediately, Bruce is here for when things are going well, right? You have money to invest.
Right.
The Resource Center has auto and homeowners insurance when you buy new toys.
Right.
When things are on the uptick. But we're also here for folks when things don't go so well. When you're facing disability, when you're facing nursing home, when you're afraid of those things in the future and trying to preserve the stuff that you worked for.
Now, the things that I've found out also in talking to you, the reason that you come to an expert is because you don't know what you don't know. That's the biggest problem that I think a lot of people run into. I'm sure you find a lot, and you think, well, why aren't they aware of this? A lot of bridges to cross that you aren't even aware are there.
That's for sure. And I recently lost my parents, and there was a lot of things that came up from that. There was a lot of finishing their estates, a lot of surprises that came along. I was aware of those. But I just thought about others that are in that horrible situation and all this extra bureaucracy that gets thrown upon them. And so there's a lot of things we can do to help folks here under the Your Disability Rep and at the Resource Center at large.
Right. And of course, disability, there is a time that it happens. You know when to look for help. But there are other things that people need to prepare for ahead of time. Really find an expert to talk, to give you a path to go down, kind of.
Well, most certainly, and with disability as well. There's a lot of folks that are just barely hanging on to the workforce. They're going to have to make this transition. There's things you need to know before you separate from your employment. There are things you can do to strengthen your case on the front end.
Right.
And if you have loved ones whose health is failing, it's real important that you talk to somebody, because there are some preparation things that you can do that makes this process easier, and it can help to protect you overall.
Yeah, the other thing is when people hear the phrase, they hear the words Social Security, they think that's like senior citizens and that's it. But you even started out when you were ticking off children's disabilities, all sorts of things that you're not just here for senior citizens.
Yeah, that's correct. And a lot of the disability folks are people who are of working age that haven't quite hit that senior citizens delegation yet. But having said that, with helping with Medicare, we're able to offer some service and assistance to the senior citizens, to the folks who are working age, and then of course to the children too that may need that help in applying for Social Security or fighting that battle.
Yeah. Now, one of the great things I know, again, from talking with you all the time we have, is if people want your help, they can talk to you. There's not this big hurdle that they have to jump over or anything like that.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's the way that I want to do business, right? We need to be approachable. We need to be available. This number, the 417-812-6698, rings me at my desk. I answer that phone. And that's real important to me that my clients are able to get a hold of me, that we're able to discuss things. The more I know about my clients, the better job I can do for them.
Well, also the fact that you spent time on the other team, so you understand it from both ends of the spectrum.
And I help people sometimes call other disability representatives or attorneys. You're in hold for hours, it seems like, on end. It's hard to talk to a real person. That's just not the way we do things here.
That's right. I know you fight for your people.
Indeed.
I know you do. Okay, tell them the number again, Rick.
The 417-812-6698. There are Google reviews out there too. Feel free to pop in and check out some of them.
Right, and it's Roy. I keep calling him Rick. I don't know what the deal is. Also, the QR code. You can take that. It'll give you the information that you want from Roy Rickstrew.
Good to see you, Tim.
Good seeing you too.